Okay, take two of this deal. Basically what's happening is progress. Small update to, well, not small. qOrbiter is, as you know, the new effort to make an orbiter that runs on more devices, has more sexy functionality as far as navigation, and tons of other improvements just to the general orbiter user interface. That being said, it's kind of a bear to put together. So these are our experiments and our research into doing so. When you last left us, we were in the process of putting a more dynamic elements in place. I made kind of a huge blunder without realizing the architecture of the system. Long story short, I rolled the qOrbiter into the actual, or the orbiter generator into the actual orbiter itself, where it needed to be an entirely separate entity that lived on the core. After being set straight on that and some time spent thinking, guess what? Oops, wow, that was good. We now have stuffs. So, starting off with the first important element, which is the orbiter generator. Orbiter generator can be found at, and this is in the SVN, pay attention, this is under Linux MCE admin. It is outside of the qOrbiter source tree, meaning you need to also take this file, qOrbitergenerator.php, and put it under Linux MCE admin, or LMCE admin, in order to run it. It takes a parameter, D equals 35, where device equals, or D equals the device number. Notice the syntax. Call it, address, question mark, D equals. I shouldn't have to explain this because most people probably hearing this have had more computer programming experience than me, but still. Anyways, basically what it does is creates a temporary XML file located in var temp. Creates bits of data for use in the orbiter. You'll see in there file formats, media types, default user and room for the orbiter, users, rooms, setups, genres, attributes, scenarios, all the stuff that it needs at runtime to basically send intelligent messages back to the DCE router to get intelligent results. So that's the one part. Remember, you'll need to do that. The other part is you need to actually have an existing orbiter in the system that you can tie the device number to. Other folks have told me they've been able to use just a regular standard orbiter, just hijacking the device number for that. Obviously don't have it both running at the same time, but you don't necessarily need to add the qOrbiter to you don't have to add the specific qOrbiter template to your device tree in order to get things running. Any orbiter will do. We had someone using a proxy orbiter, and someone else using a standard orbiter, just using a device number because it is an orbiter at the end of the day. That being said, you also need to have the Qt SDK. I don't worry anything about libs or anything else. SDK. Not to be rude, but I'm entirely too new at this programming thing to support every which way it could possibly be run. We're still trying to run through this, and I appreciate the time of Uplink and T-Shack, Merc, everybody who's spent time, especially Posse, who's constantly making sure that I think things through, but everybody seriously who's spent time analyzing this and how it actually should be constructed. Alright, enough goddamn talking. You guys came here for a video. So, we're gonna fire it up. Here we are. Okay, so bada bing. Looks like it did before, except this doesn't go on forever. Obviously, some other slight changes. The wording is a little funky and whatnot. Basically, I'm going to let you know what's going on here. We now have default user set and a default room, which gives us all of our scenarios for that room. This looks kind of weird, I imagine, with the lights on and off. That's just because I have it set to just read, to correlate the name of an image to the name of a scenario at the moment, just so we can have some images popping in there without too much trouble. So, a climate scenario on/off would equal that. Obviously, I could change it so that it would go, oh, well, you're not a lighting thing, but like I said, this is alpha, like before alphabets. Anyways, these don't work at the moment. They'll be changed. That will be changed soon, because now, lo and behold, if I go to a different room, say Planet Express ship room, it changes. Why? Well, because the entire list is now dynamic, which means we are that much closer to actually having our Orbiter user interface do things. In addition, for those of you on HD, you'll notice I'm going to click some buttons here, there, everywhere. Yada yada yada. Click the buttons, and you'll notice my name is off. My param, aka command group, is 85. Basically, I just need to do a little bit more code to send that back to the router and say execute command group 85. So as you can see, we're at a point where it would be smart if you want to be one of the people that helps guide how the skinning works to jump in. If you have any coding experience whatsoever, jump in. You guys have to consider I'm very new at this game, and I've managed to produce something, so a little effort with the team and we'll go a long way. That's pretty much all I got. There's been some changes as far as code and other stuff. Obviously that was kind of a stupid ass statement in retrospect. Anyways, long story short, it's fully dynamic now. If you run this, it will conform to what your scenarios and rooms and other things of that nature are. So, have at it, folks. I want you guys to get out there, play with it, experiment. Remember, you need the fracking SDK. End of story. Not trying to be a dick about it, but there's no way for me to really support all of the different possibilities that can happen, ways you can try and execute it right now. Right now we're going with the one path, and then we split into multiple paths once we have more. That is all. Have a good day. I think that's all. Is there anything else, kids? No, that's all. Alright. Play us out, Shep. The hell is it?